like life, it's not perfect, and you have to just kind of try and go, stop looking back, stop kind of tuning into all the things that you may have done, didn't do, the sliding door moments. There's no point. You can't go back there. You've only got here and now and the unknown stretching out in front of you. So try and detach yourself from all the baggage and regenerate.
Hi, I'm Jess Rowe, and this is the Jess Rowe Big Talk Show, a podcast that goes big and deep to show you a different side to our guests in conversations about the things that truly matter. Danielle Spencer is a singer, songwriter, actor, and a mum. Now, she's grown up in the spotlight. Her dad, Don Spencer, is a musician, and I grew up watching him on Play School. Now, Danielle first learnt to play piano at the age of 4, and she was starring on the stage in musicals as a teenager. Danielle was also married to one of the world's most famous actors, Russell Crowe. She's now embarking on a whole new chapter of her life, and what a life she has led. She has just released a beautiful new album. It's called Regenerate, her first album in 16 years. I love it. I've been playing it while I get ready in the mornings. This is because the themes in her music touch on things that impact on all of us. They resonate with me deeply. Those ideas of aging, renewal, and rediscovery. In this chat, Danielle opens up about some parts of her life that she has never shared publicly before. Now, you'll also hear some of her wonderful music, and if you're watching on YouTube, you'll get to see the glorious glittery video clips that she's also made. We bonded over glitter and lace. Oh, Danielle Spencer, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Jess. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's so great to have you. And I love this. We're kind of matching. If people are seeing us on YouTube, we're channeling the lace, aren't we?
Yes, I'm loving that. Yours is actually such a beautiful, vibrant colour. I'm a little more boring in white, but I think the lace theme is, I think it's pretty nice.
It's beautiful. We do match. And you are not boring because you have this extraordinary album and new album called Regenerate, which I have been loving listening to.
Oh.
As I was getting ready this morning, putting on my bright lippy, I was sort of in the bathroom pumping the air going, yes, because we're at a point in our lives, we're a similar age, where I am thinking, what do I want to do next? How can I remake myself?
Yeah.
Is that sort of where you're at? Is that what Regenerate is about for you?
Yes. I think this age is pretty interesting for women and men, but I'm a woman, so I'm going to talk from that point of view. And I think you can kind of get into a bit of a quagmire of responsibility of, even though your kids are grown, they're still around, they're still maybe like mine are 19 and 22. You're still concerned about them. Your parents are getting older. You're now concerned about them. So you can get lost in that and just feel exhausted, feel burnt out. And I think sort of around pandemic time, I'm sure a lot of people relate, there was a feeling of burnout. And what is next, when we come out of this? And I'd kind of had a number of years where I couldn't write for various reasons, some health related. And then I thought, I think to actually kind of reboot myself, I need to get back to the piano and do some writing, because that's my kind of lifeline and my therapy. So started writing during being locked up, and then I thought, okay, I think I'll keep writing this album, and this is feeling like I am regenerating. I'm coming back to life, because I sort of felt just flatlining, for quite a while. So writing sort of brings me back to life, and I felt as though I had a lot to say, because as we just said, this period of life is interesting, challenging in a lot of ways, and great in other ways. Like, it's same as any age. It's good and bad. There are pros and cons. So I thought I want to embrace it in a positive way. I'm getting older. There's a track on there called Older. But it's about reframing it and looking at it in a more positive light and looking at the good aspects of getting older, because we all tend to give it such a negative connotation that I thought we're all going there. So let's reframe it and, try and be positive about it and try and find something in those years where you're suddenly going, oh, kids have gone. Mum and Dad are getting older. I've kind of pulled myself out of the main force for a while. Now what?
Let's go. Nothing has to be forever. Sometimes we hold on to a life that leads us way past nowhere. It might be time for a rewrite, so you can say I'm stronger, bolder. I'm getting older. Bring it on. I love a roller coaster.
There is something for everyone. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be world beating. It's just something to kind of move yourself back into the central role in your life, because I think a lot of women end up we just put all of our stuff aside and we think about everybody else. So it's like you have to reclaim a bit of that for yourself so that you have that sense of self.
There's a lot that I want to pick up there. That reclaiming your sense of self is so important. And as you say, we can feel lost. We can lose our sense of identity when we're caring for everyone around us. Yeah. And for you, finding that identity again, was it through your music? Was that what helped ground you and find yourself again?
Definitely, yeah. As I said before, it doesn't have to be music, it can be whatever for whoever. But for me, it's kind of, I'd had a period of time where quite a lot had gone on, drama in my personal life and sickness in my family and just a lot. So I was burnt out. But it took a while. It was like a process of, okay, I'll write a couple more. Oh, I think I'm writing an album. I'm a very old lady to be writing an album.
Nonsense.
But hell, I'm going to do it anyway.
You're not an old lady. You're, as you say, one of the tracks is older. What is it? Stronger.
Bolder. Happy to be older.
Yes.
I'm getting older. Yes.
Hooray. And we are.
Yeah.
You talk about drama in your life. And of course, you were married to Russell Crowe, one of the most sort of famous men in the world. But you were the woman behind his success. And I think sometimes what happens with people is we forget about, you see the man sort of charging through, but you were there keeping it all together, weren't you?
Doing my best.
But it's
keeping
hard.
it together sometimes.
Yeah.
No, yes. Definitely my world changed a lot when we got married. I had an album out, done a lot of gigs and promo, and everything was sort of going really well. And then Russell invited me to go and do some gigs with him in the States, and I thought that would be nice, promote the album over there. So we did a kind of, we were friends then, not together. And then we kind of started gravitating back together. But it was actually a really lovely time because I started really enjoying performing again at that point.
But you had this incredible career. You learned the piano from what, age 4?
Yeah.
You did musical theatre as a teenager. You were on the small and the large screen. My husband Peter said he fell in love with you when I think you were playing a paramedic on television.
Oh, God. Pacific Drive.
That's what it was. He was like, oh, my God, I had such a crush on Danielle Spencer.
Oh, that is so cute.
Yeah. So you had this big life yourself.
Yeah.
And How hard is that to, I suppose, almost put that to the side when there's someone that you're in love with that has a bigger life?
Yeah, and I guess what happened was we got back together, we got engaged, and I fell pregnant on the honeymoon. So that was kind of life change completely. Not only have you stepped into that world, the madness of what went around Russell, but you're going to be a mother and you have to put all of your stuff aside now and kind of be the linchpin for the family, be there for the kids. So, yeah, it was quite a big adjustment period. I think a lot of women go through this, whether you're in the entertainment industry or working in an office or working wherever. I think that thing of having to put your stuff aside when the kids come, even though we love our kids and you wouldn't change a thing, it's kind of challenging because you do lose a bit of your sense of self. You know, you become a slave to your babies. I mean that in a good way. We all love them, but let's face it, it's intense. So I definitely had to kind of put on a different hat for a number of years. And I guess, you know, I could have kept going with music and whatever, and I started and stopped, but then the reality of actually having to be away from my kids for the amount of time that it would require for me to really push an album, I couldn't kind of, it made me feel guilty to think of it, and I just thought the kid's more important because their father's away. If their mother's away all the time as well, what have they got? You know, yes, we'll have a nanny or whatever, but I just thought it's way more important than my musical aspirations are these two people that I have to bring up. So that was a large part of stepping away.
And also, too, the point that you make there is so spot on that for many women, it's a choice that we do have to make, that we do decide. I know as well with myself, with my daughters, when I first became a mum, I thought, who am I? Like I'd suddenly lost my identity. I'd always defined myself as this sort of career person. Mm. And when I was no longer doing that, I did feel lost for a time. Yeah. And then also there was other moments where there would be work that would come around, but then it would be at a cost to being with my daughters. Yeah. And that was a cost that I thought, no, this is too precious.
Yeah, because that time is fleeting, even though when you're in it, it feels like forever. I got to a point where I was like, will there ever be a day in my life where I'm not changing a nappy? It feels like I've been doing it my entire adult life. Then it goes, and then they just grow up, and it's gone in a flash, in that cliched thing of enjoy every moment. It's gone in a flash. When you're in those moments, the early days, like it's not gone in a flash. This is going on forever. But then when it is gone, and at this point, I'm now looking at my boys going, oh, I miss my little boys. Looking at little photographs of them or videos of them being really cute.
It's funny. I look back on those days and I say to my girls, I wouldn't want to go back there. I enjoy this time more, and I so much more enjoy the relationship I can have with them as young adults and seeing them blossom, and which is very much with your sons, what you're doing. And it's your turn now, Danielle. So step into your power.
Thank you. That is a lovely, lovely way of putting it, Jess. I do sort of feel as though, and that is the overarching theme of the album, and it is, as I said before, it doesn't have to be about music, but it is about stepping back into that sort of central role in your own life. So you're not an extra in your own life. And it doesn't mean that you're not caring for other people, that you're being selfish. It just means that you are valuing yourself as well, and you know that you need to have your own thing, whether it be a hobby, a job, whatever it is, but something that kind of speaks to you and is not about caring for everybody else.
That it's yours.
Yeah.
You're at a stage now where your boys, they're young men. How different is that for you as a mum? Is it hard to take a step back, or are you still pretty involved in their lives?
I'm still very involved in their lives. They're still both at home.
They're both, yeah, so are my daughters. I think it's sort of that generation. They'll stay home forever.
and I don't mind. Yeah, I love having them around. So I'm still really involved. Obviously, they're independent. They come and go and do their thing. But I certainly haven't got to the point where I can kind of go, okay, they're all grown, done there, because I still feel as though, you know, I've got 19 and 22. One's at uni and one is interested in acting and experimenting and doing this, that and the other. So I still feel on deck there. But yeah, I think if they moved out, it would be a whole other level of crash. And I know that there's a lot of people our age going through that, you know, where they're gone and it's like, oh, okay, this feels different because that's all you've known for decades. So I kind of dread them moving out a bit. What about you?
Yeah. I feel it a little the same. I love seeing them grow into these wonderful young creatures, but there is a part of me, because so much of who I am is being their mum. Yeah. And I think, if they leave home, yes, of course I'm still their mum, but they're not there with me. And yes, it frightens me. Yeah. If I'm honest about it.
It is kind of frightening and you have this thing that joins you to them. So they can sort of go off and go, I'm young, I'm full of hope and optimism and bye, Mum. And we're left there sort of going, oh, I used to be young and full of optimism.
And cool.
And cool. All righty, bye. I'll be in the garden. I'll go knit your scarf, doll.
Oh, and also you want to keep protecting them. And I wonder with your boys, because you grew up in the spotlight. You know, your dad, I grew up watching him on Play School. He was a famous musician. He's toured with the Rolling Stones. So you grew up with a dad in the spotlight. They've grown up with you in the spotlight, with their dad in the spotlight. How do you, I suppose, protect them but also help them to find their own identity and sense of self, not attached to someone else?
Yeah, I have worried about that, obviously, and that's one of the reasons that I settled us in Sydney and put them into school, normal boys' schools, and, you know, we could have settled in LA or London or whatever, but I kind of wanted to just make their lives as normal as possible. And we'd done a lot of travelling in the early days of my oldest son. And he got quite stressed about travelling at one point when he was kind of 3, 4, whatever it was. So I thought I'm going to have to actually settle them down in Sydney, I think, so that they have a sense of security, because I felt that was lacking. And I, you know, obviously have worried about them feeling like they might be in the shadow of their dad, or you know, the one that wants to act. I'm just, it worries me. I say to him, unless you're really passionate about it, you know, think of all the other things that you might be able to do. He's got the talent. I mean, I can see that he could do it. Just I know that acting is not an easy life, even for really successful actors. It's a disjointed, up and down existence. You know, it's wonderful if you love it. So I'm trying to work out if my son really loves it or if he's just good at it. So I might do that. I don't know. So yes, talking about the thing hanging over them, I would say they both are pretty strong individuals. They both have quite a strong sense of self. Their personalities have always been quite strong from a very early age. So I don't feel as though they're lost in it, and I don't feel as though they ever were. I think they, and like most kids, I think, who are the offspring of famous actors or musicians, whatever, they don't sit there being impressed by it all. They sit there going, Yeah, I don't know. Dad's got another film out. Has he? Oh, okay. I'm going to put a song out. Eh? Okay. They're used to it. So they don't go, wow, Dad's doing this. That's like, oh, yeah, I like that one, or I didn't like that one, or, they're very casual about it. And as I said, I think they both have a great sense of humour. They're both bright kids. Obviously, they're still got to find themselves. And as parents, we all worry about this phase for our kids. From transitioning from school into adulthood is not easy. So, yeah, I worry about that. But I hope that their sense of self is kind of strong enough to not feel too much pressure.
Listening to you, you have a very strong sense of self. And I feel that you've taught your boys that.
I hope so. Thank you. That's a nice thing to say.
No, you do. You're very contained and strong. That's the feeling I get talking with you.
Oh, that's very sweet, Jess.
I hope, though, you feel that. Do you feel now that you are in your power? Looking at your wonderful video clips, that your hair, the glitter on your face, the costumes, the flourishes.
Yes, that is fun, and it is coming at it from this age. I was much more singer-songwriter last time, sitting at my keyboard in my singlet and jeans, and, it was all lo-fi. This time I thought, if I'm coming out as somebody at this age, I'm going to go theatrical and diva-like. I'm just going to have fun with it. So I'm playing dress-ups and, we're messing around with the makeup, the hair, got some choreography going. I'm up from behind my keyboard and actually moving a little bit, and that feels fun. It just is a fresh way to approach it for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that is what life is about. Life, it's so precious. And as we do get older, I'm so much more aware of I have a finite amount of time, and I want to make it matter how I feel these hours and days and years. And for you, do you think it's about also that the pressure's off? So you're giving yourself permission to really be in your skin.
Yes. And I guess the other aspect of that as a performer, when I did my last couple of albums, there wasn't social media. There wasn't any way to kind of promote yourself, or it was always the record company would organise everything. You'd have a certain list of interviews you did, performances you did on TV or wherever. And then that was sort of it, like sink or swim. I guess the good thing for musical artists now is, and there's not a lot of good things because the music industry is suffering immensely, especially in Australia, the live scene particularly. But the good aspect of it is that you can now just filter out, whatever you want and post the stuff that you want people to see and enjoy. There's the negative side of social media, as we all know. And you've also got all the judgment and the trolls and all of that to deal with. But in terms of kind of getting the message out, you can just keep pushing it out every day.
And with the judgment that's out there, and I think as, being in the public eye for as long as you have, there's always someone revolting. And there is. And I always try and, I'm someone who just goes, block, don't read it, don't look. But there's still a part that hurts. And it makes me think about, for you, how have you managed that over the years?
I'd say I'm probably dealing with more of it now than I ever have, because, as I said, over the years, when I was more in like profile higher and doing things that were in the spotlight more, social media wasn't happening. This time around, it's completely different. So yes, you have your people that really support you and are there for the music, and then you have the people that are just coming on to say you're disgusting, you can't sing, you look disgusting and all of that. So you just, I'm like you, I'm like, don't read it, but every now and then you do see something, or someone will send me something and go, who is this? I want to kill them. So I can't miss it all. And just try to be philosophical about it. It's like, as long as the people that have liked my music and the supporters are happy with what I'm doing, I don't really care what that bitter little person is doing, sitting at their computer in the dark.
Exactly, and I think that's such a good way to think about it. But isn't it? I always find it fascinating with myself that there's still that part of us that will lean into the awful part of what someone says rather than all of the lovely things, because the loveliness always far outweighs that one particular comment. But I'll read
You'll remember
read
that one.
It's like, no.
Exactly. You'll always...
Don't you think? It's like, no.
I love your laugh, by the way.
Oh, thank you. But you have to laugh. I mean, that's again the thing.
But it's weird, isn't it? Yes, you remember the negative and you forget all the positives.
Yes.
Or you think they're just being nice. It's that one. They're the real one.
Yeah.
I'm awful.
Yeah, no. And you're not. You have this, your voice, it's so ethereal. It's really, and I'm moving like that as I talk to you. It's sort of this magical, beautiful, ethereal voice. And there's another song on the album, and now it's called The Game. And a number of people had said that it was about you and Russell. And is that the case or?
No.
So what's it about?
Oh, taker of time, better fight you for my life. It's taken an age just to feel alright. Just you and me, you and me, you and me, and we're floating in the grey. Like a dream, I can't scream, and it seems that all I can do is wait.
The Game is actually the first song I wrote for the album, and it was my kind of breaking out of my coma song. I'd had all of those years of bringing up the kids on my own, and, you know, obviously they saw their dad, had some help where I needed it, but just being kind of single parent mentally. And I had some health issues in that time as well. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which is a chronic pain condition. I have hypermobility syndrome, which is a chronic pain condition as well. So it's chronic fatigue, chronic pain, and they're not curable. So you manage them how you can. So The Game was it was my kind of way out of my own particular hole where I was. And it starts off with "Oh, Taker of Time." For me, that was health, mental health, mood, all of that having a kind of chronic pain condition can put you into. So it was a very cathartic song. I really enjoyed writing it, and when I got to the end of it, I think it definitely sort of shifted something in me, and that's when I went, oh, hello, I am in there somewhere. I'm going to keep writing because I think I might have started waking myself up. So The Game is, it is about the stolen years of health issues, and you know, this is another thing for ladies of our age. There are so many autoimmune conditions, etc., and pain conditions that we get at this age. And I think part of it is we're very complicated hormonally and all of that, but I also think it's burnout. And I think it is just kind of years of chronic stress, even if it's low-grade chronic stress, you know, the kids, the job, the house, the husband, the parents, whatever. And I think it's really important that people stay on top of their health, because I ignored it for a long time. And I remember a friend saying to me at some point, you know, because I said, I'm not feeling great, like I can't. And they said, you need to, whatever it is in your life that is not working, you need to shift it or you're going to end up sick because you're internalizing everything. So I started shifting things in my life, but by then my nervous system had decided, no, you fried me and I'm going to cause some problems.
Chronic pain is so debilitating, and it does impact so many areas of your life.
Yeah.
And as you say, if you keep ignoring it, it catches up with you.
Yeah.
And so how did you manage that chronic pain?
Tried a lot of different things. Back then, this is, we're talking a decade ago-ish, maybe more, slightly more. Not long, like when I was coming out of my marriage, probably. It was getting diagnosed, or I knew something was going on, just felt generally unwell. So I went to an immunologist and he diagnosed me and put me on some medication for for immune system, whatever. Changed the medication. I went to see a rheumatologist and they gave me another round of this medication, that medication. Then doctor, and it's this and it's that and it's whatever. All the while I'm kind of researching it constantly, like I'm very proactive with health. That's another thing I would say to anyone who's feeling something going, be proactive. You are your own best advocate.
Listen to your body.
That's right. And a lot of the things that I found to help me, I found myself by just constantly reading and seeing what's out there, because your GP, he's not going to know much about it, generally not going to know much about it. So I have just kind of seen different therapists and tried different drugs, and for that period of time, it was actually so painful to sit at the piano I couldn't write. And that was for years. And then I went to this health retreat, not a health retreat, it was actually a medical centre, an integrative medical centre that just would have 1 or 2 patients at a time with complex conditions, and they would do alternative therapies as well as traditional, whatever. And through that, I met a guy who was handing out cannabis oil to people with chronic pain or cancer patients, whatever, up north. And it wasn't legal then. Now there are ways to kind of get in there, but they made it very difficult back then for anyone to actually get help. So I started on that, and a few months later, I could sit at the keyboard and play. Still had the pain. It's not miraculously gone, but I could suddenly do a bunch of things I hadn't been able to do for years. And that was the CBD oil. More effective than any of the pharmaceuticals they gave me.
And so taking the cannabis oil, was that a difficult decision for you, especially at the time, given it wasn't known, I suppose, as medicinal marijuana and legal at the time?
No, it wasn't a difficult decision. It should have been, because it was illegal. But when you're in pain all the time, you go, bring it on, I'll try anything. And when I tried first, it's not psychoactive. I'm not getting, stoned on it. Started on just CBD, and it just helps your overall system kind of calm down. I think it helps your nervous system a lot. And then you can get the type that is a bit better for sleep and extreme pain that has a little bit of THC in it, that is the psychoactive. But I'm never chasing that. I actually don't like that feeling. But it is very helpful for pain, and it sort of made me furious for years that it was so difficult to get. When I think of all these older ladies or men who are just struggling so much with rheumatoid arthritis and those kind of horrific things, and the oil helps enormously. It is really quite magical for pain syndromes and for anxiety and for sleep and probably a bunch of other things. But it did make me angry for a while that it was just so difficult to get. It's becoming easier now, but I think they need to just push it over the line so that you can go to the chemist and get it, not to get stoned, get the stuff that is just going to help with pain. And
because it was life-changing for you.
It was.
And do you still take it?
Yes. Yeah. I actually had a break from it for a few months, and I've just gone back on because everything was getting I thought maybe I'll just come off this for a while now and, you know, see how it's going. And then went, oh, no, that's not working. I'll go back on it. So I'm back on it this week.
and you can tell the difference.
I can, yeah. And it really helps with sleep. I'm an insomniac, and it definitely helps with that.
When you were talking about writing songs again and that you were like, oh, there I am, I'm still there. That to me is a real moment too, because I do think, I know for me sometimes I might lose myself in all of the grind of daily life.
Yeah.
But that creativity or that spark or that essence that is you, to find that again, I think is really powerful.
It is, and it is kind of definitely given me a boost in energy, a boost in hope, a boost in because everything was kind of feeling a bit flatliney there for a while. But yeah, just kind of feeling that sense of yourself, like maybe even that sense of your younger self that had hope and dreams and ambition and imagined things. Like I like getting into that space.
Yes. And because I look back at my younger self, but then I think, oh, I'd like to be my younger self, but with my wisdom.
Yes.
So I don't,
know what I know now,
but
go back with all of that potential I had.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with looking back, because there's a beautiful song as well on your album, Hummingbird. And with the video clip, there's some beautiful imagery, and you're in a fish tank and you're sort of like a mermaid, and then it's exquisite. And there's that lyric about stuck in the spaces between places, one step forward and then take a long look back.
Still as stone, I'm a ghost. I disappear, I come and go, stuck in the spaces between places. I take one step forward, and then I take a long look back.
When you look back, what do you see? We're talking about that younger self.
Yeah. I think it's the same thing we all struggle with. I think, or maybe not all of us, but a lot of us. You do kind of have that thing of, this is going well. I'm achieving something. I'm stepping forward. I'm doing something different. This is great. And then you start doubting yourself, or doubting, should I be doing this? Like even with me writing a note, should I be writing an album?
Isn't that interesting, that voice? Like, because we often, all of us have that inner voice questioning, and I'd love to quieten it.
Yeah, should I be doing this? Yeah.
So how do you quieten it? How do you go, yes, I should be, and look, I've done it?
Do you know, I think the voice probably stays there. It's just that you've got to compartmentalize it, put it in a box, because, unless you're a narcissist, you're always going to doubt yourself here and there. You're never going to think, well, I've done it, I've conquered it, I'm there. Like even with the album, it's like I could have an album that was never finished because I'm a perfectionist. I could just keep reworking and reworking, but at some point you've got to go, done, put it out there. And like life, it's not perfect, and you have to just kind of try and go, stop looking back, stop kind of tuning into all the things that you may have done, didn't do, the sliding door moments. There's no point. You can't go back there. You've only got here and now and the unknown stretching out in front of you. So try and detach yourself from all the baggage and regenerate.
If someone was to ask you now to describe Danielle Spencer, what would you say?
I would say re-energize, for one thing, just because of the contrast of a decade of time. Hopeful, pretty realistic. Doesn't mean that I don't dream, but I'm not like a cockeyed optimist, so I weigh things up. Family very important to me, friends very important to me, so I'm like very people focused, the close people to me. As an overall description, it's difficult to describe yourself, because I'm going to ask you to describe yourself in a moment. Let's have it, Jess.
Have you finished your description though?
And I'm old, and I'm very old. That's it.
But the words of your song, come
I
on.
know. I'm stronger. I'm bolder. I'm happy to be older.
Yes, as am I. I'm happy to be older.
Are you?
I am. If I was to describe myself, I would say joyful and determined to be joyful, chaotic, caring, kind, and glittery.
I love that. The glittery, I'm absolutely 100% there with you there. I think it was Glitter Sisters.
Yay! Can we play makeup
Yes.
together? I want to do glittery
diamonds
eyes,
around your eyes.
please.
I know. We are very, very well suited in the glitter department, I think. But yes, you do come across as a very positive energy, which is lovely. Like, you are joyous.
Oh, well, I try to. I think sometimes it's hard though. It's not as if I kind of wake up and go, woohoo.
Yeah.
It's a deliberate choice, and there are moments for all of us, where life can get to you and feel on top of you. But my way of choosing how to deal with that is to go, right, I will put on the glittery eyes, I'll wear the sparkly dress.
I love that.
And look, you see, I've worn sparkly stockings for you too.
I love those.
Look at those. Yes, we can never have too much sparkle. Aren't they fun? A friend of mine designs them.
God, I love them.
I'll get you a pair. She also does black fishnets too. But
Oh,
yeah.
love.
And that's why it's been so wonderful talking with you, because I find you really inspiring, and I think there's so much, Danielle, that we can learn from you about regeneration, reinvention, and also realising it's never too late, that whatever it is that is us, our essence, it is still there.
Absolutely. It is. But you really do have to take a moment and step aside and think on it, find it, and activate it. Because again, there's always the thing of, I'll concentrate on me next month when this is out of the way, or, mum's sick, so I'll concentrate on myself next year, whatever. In amongst all of that stuff that we have to do, I think it is so important to find that nugget for yourself that is your sense of self and that feeds you instead of depletes you.
And thank you for showing us how we can do that through your beautiful music. It's been a real joy to talk with you.
Thank you so much, Jess. It's been lovely to be here.
So what resonated with you in that conversation? So much resonated with me, especially that moment when Danielle was talking about finding that part of yourself again that you thought you'd lost. For Danielle, that part of herself she rediscovered through her music. And you can listen to her beautiful album, Regenerate. It is out now. You can head to daniellespencermusic.com, or you can stream and buy her music. Make sure you do, and crank it up when you get ready, because I tell you what, the best is yet to come, and that is what Danielle Spencer has shown me.